I froze in the doorway, my keys slipping from my hand and clattering onto the hardwood floor like shattered glass. There on our living room couch, the one we'd picked out together at that overpriced flea market last summer, my girlfriend Sarah was tangled up with her ex, Mark. His hands were buried in her hair, her legs wrapped around his waist, and the soft moans escaping her lips were the same ones I'd heard whispered in my ear just hours ago. The room reeked of her vanilla perfume mixed with his cheap cologne, a nauseating cocktail that hit me like a punch to the gut. My vision blurred, not from tears, but from the raw fury exploding in my chest, a wildfire scorching everything in its path. Sarah's eyes snapped open, locking onto mine. "Jake!" she gasped, shoving Mark away as if he were a sudden intruder. Mark scrambled back, his shirt half unbuttoned, smirking like he'd won some twisted game. "This isn't what it looks like," she stammered, pulling her dress down, her face flushing crimson. Not from shame, I realized, but from the interruption. My heart hammered against my ribs, each beat echoing the betrayal like a drum of war. I wanted to scream, to lunge at him, to tear the room apart. But instead I stood there, numb, the air thick and suffocating. "Get out," I whispered, my voice barely audible over the blood rushing in my ears. Mark chuckled, buttoning his shirt with deliberate slowness, his eyes gleaming with triumph. "Easy, buddy." She invited me. That was the spark, the one that ignited the inferno inside me. It had started innocently enough, or so I thought. 2 weeks earlier, Sarah had dropped the bomb over dinner. We were at our favorite Italian spot, the one with the flickering candles and garlic bread that always left crumbs on the tablecloth. She'd been fidgety all night, twirling her fork in her pasta without eating. Finally, she set it down and looked at me, her blue eyes steady but edged with something I couldn't place. "Mark's coming to the party," she said flatly, like it was no big deal. "Our annual Halloween bash, the one we threw every year in our cozy apartment overlooking the city lights. Friends, costumes, too much punch, it was our thing." I choked on my wine. "Your ex, Mark. The guy who cheated on you twice." She sighed, reaching for my hand across the table. Her touch was warm, familiar, but it sent a chill down my spine. "He's changed, Jake. We're friends now. It's been years. You need to be cool about it, or it's over." Her words hung in the air, sharp as a blade. "I mean it. No jealousy, no scenes." I stared at her, the restaurant's murmur fading into a distant hum. Humiliation twisted in my gut like a knife. Why him? Why now? But I swallowed it down, forced a smile. "I'll be," I replied, cutting myself off mid-sentence, letting her fill in the blank. "Oh, fine." Whatever she wanted. Inside, though, resentment festered like an open wound. That night, as we lay in bed, her head on my chest, I couldn't sleep. The city lights filtered through the blinds, casting striped shadows on the walls like prison bars. My mind raced. Denial first, convincing myself it was nothing. She's just testing me, I thought. Proving I'm not possessive. But doubt crept in, whispering memories. The late-night texts she'd hide, the old friend lunches that ran long. Heartbreak clawed at me, a deep ache that made my chest tighten. We'd been together 3 years. Built a life, shared dreams. Was it all a lie? By morning, anger had taken root. I watched her in the kitchen, humming as she made coffee, her robe slipping off one shoulder. She looked so innocent, so mine. But the image of Mark's smug face from old photos on her phone flashed in my mind. Obsession bloomed. I needed to know why. Was it revenge for some imagined slight? Or had she never let go? I started small, subtle. While she showered, I glanced at her phone. Unlocked as always, a sign of trust that now felt like mockery. Messages from Mark. "Can't wait to see you. Remember that night in Vegas?" My blood boiled, but I didn't confront her. No, that would be too easy. Instead, I pocketed the doubt, let it simmer. The days leading to the party were a slow descent into madness. Work blurred. I'm a graphic designer, usually lost in sketches and deadlines, but now my mind wandered to fantasies of justice. What if I exposed them? Humiliated her like she was humiliating me? But guilt nipped at the edges. Was I overreacting? She hadn't done anything yet. Or had she? One evening after a grueling day, I met my buddy Tom at a dive bar downtown. The place smelled of stale beer and peanuts, the jukebox crooning old rock ballads that matched my mood. Tom nursed his pint, eyeing me over the rim. "You look like shit, man. What's eating you?" I hesitated, then spilled it. Sarah's ultimatum, the creeping suspicions. His face darkened. "That's messed up. Mark's a snake, everyone knows it. But revenge? Nah, just dump her." I shook my head, the neon lights reflecting in my glass like fractured promises. "It's not that simple. I love her, or I did. But if she's playing me..." My voice trailed off, resentment turning to cold resolve. Tom leaned in, his words slurred but sincere. "Whatever you do, make it count. But don't lose yourself." That night, alone in our apartment while Sarah was out shopping, I paced the living room. The couch mocked me, its cushions still holding the imprint of our movie nights. I imagined Mark there laughing. Fantasies flooded. Keying his car, spreading rumors. But they felt petty, unsatisfying. No, revenge needed to be poetic, a mirror to the betrayal. I sat at my desk, the computer screen glowing in the dim light. A quick search, anonymous of course, led to forums on heartbreak and payback. Stories of jilted lovers. Fake profiles exposing affairs, planted evidence turning tables. Doubt hit. Was I becoming the villain? Moral conflict twisted inside me, a war between hurt and humanity. But then I remembered her words. "Be cool, or it's over." She'd already chosen. Subtle hints began to weave into our interactions. At breakfast, she chattered about costumes. Her as a sexy witch, me as a wizard. "Mark's coming as a vampire," she added casually, sipping her tea. I forced a laugh, but inside, obsession grew. "Sounds fitting," I muttered, my tone laced with suppressed rage she didn't catch. Fear mingled with the planning. What if I got caught? Lost everything. But the humiliation fueled me. I started gathering intel. His social media, old mutual friends. Learned he was in debt, cheating on his current girl too. Patterns emerged. Mark was a user, Sarah his latest fix. The party night arrived like a storm cloud. Our apartment buzzed with preparations. Streamers dangling from the ceiling like nooses, punch bowls brimming with spiked crimson liquid, the air thick with pumpkin spice and anticipation. Sarah flitted about in her witch outfit, the black dress hugging her curves, her laughter echoing. She kissed me quickly. "Remember, be cool." "I'll be," I replied again, my smile a mask. Guests trickled in. Friends in garish costumes, music pulsing from speakers. The room filled with chatter, clinking glasses, the scent of cheap makeup and alcohol. I played host, but my eyes scanned for him. He arrived fashionably late, cape swirling, fangs gleaming under the strobe lights. Sarah's face lit up, a spark I hadn't seen for me in months. They hugged, too long, too close. Jealousy surged, but I swallowed it, offering him a drink with steady hands. "Good to see you, man," I lied, my voice even. As the night wore on, tension built like a coiled spring. Whispers in corners, stolen glances. I caught them in the kitchen, her hand on his arm, laughing at some inside joke. Heartbreak cracked me open, but resentment sealed the fissures with ice. In the bathroom, alone, I stared at my reflection, pale, eyes shadowed. The plan crystallized. Not violence, but exposure. I'd record them, send it anonymously to everyone. Let her world crumble as mine had. Guilt flickered, did she deserve it? But the fury won. I slipped my phone into record mode. Hidden in a plant. Back in the fray, the party peaked. Dancing bodies, spilled drinks staining the rug like blood. Sarah pulled me aside, her breath warm on my ear. "You're being great. I love you." Manipulation. Or genuine? Doubt gnawed, but I nodded, plodding. Then the moment. She vanished with him to get more ice. My pulse raced. I followed quietly, the hallway dim, shadows dancing. Peeking into the bedroom, our bedroom, I saw them. Kissing, urgent, her hands fumbling with his cape. Betrayal confirmed. The spark became a blaze. Rage blinded me, but I didn't burst in. No, that would be merciful, quick, forgettable. Instead, I retreated silently, the phone capturing every moan, every whispered, "I've missed this." My hands shook as I stopped the recording, the screen's glow illuminating my face like a ghost in the mirror. Humiliation burned, but now it forged something sharper. Resolve. She'd pay, not with screams, but with the slow unraveling of her perfect facade. The party dragged on, a blur of fake smiles and pounding music. I mingled, toasting with friends, but inside, obsession consumed me. Fantasies evolved. From exposure to something deeper, a psychological gut punch. Mark left early, winking at me on his way out. "Great party, Jake." Suppressed rage boiled, but I clapped his back. "Drive safe." Sarah found me later, flushed and giddy. That was fun. Mark seemed happy. Her words dripped innocence, but I saw the lie in her eyes. We cleaned up in silence, the apartment echoing with remnants of laughter. In bed, she curled against me, oblivious. Sleep evaded me. Plans swirled like smoke. Morning brought clarity and doubt. Over coffee, she hummed contentedly, scrolling her phone. Last night was perfect. Guilt stabbed. Was I monster for what I plotted? But resentment whispered, she started this. I kissed her forehead. Yeah, it was. I worked from home that day, the apartment's quiet amplifying my thoughts. The video sat on my laptop, a ticking bomb. Simple revenge. Post it online, tag everyone. But moral conflict raged, ruin her career. Her family. No, too crude. Instead, I edited it subtly. Blurred faces but voices clear. Anonymous upload to a forum her friends frequented. Fear gripped me. What if traced back? Jail. But the heartbreak outweighed it. I imagined her face crumpling, the humiliation mirroring mine. Subtle moves first. I accidentally left my phone out, a text from a fake number. "Saw you with Mark. Careful." She found it, paled. "What's this?" I shrugged, feigning confusion. "Spam." Tension crackled. She grew paranoid, checking locks, avoiding calls. Days blurred into a cat-and-mouse game. We argued more, small things, but laced with unspoken accusations. "You're distant," she'd say, eyes pleading. "Work stress." I'd lie, suppressing rage. Inside I tracked Mark, his job, his habits. Learned he was embezzling petty cash. Easy leverage. One night, over wine, she confessed partially. The candlelight flickered on her face, shadows hiding tears. Mark and I. We talked. Old feelings stirred, but it's nothing. Manipulation at its finest. I nodded, heart twisting. "I trust you." But obsession deepened. She'd played me for months. The plan evolved. Not just expose but orchestrate fallout. I created a burner account, messaged Mark. "I know about Sarah. Meet or I tell your boss about the funds." He bit, agreeing to a park bench rendezvous. The air was crisp, leaves crunching underfoot like brittle bones. He arrived nervous, cape long gone, just a sleazy guy in a hoodie. "What do you want?" he snarled, glancing around. I sat calmly, voice steady. "Leave her alone. Or everything comes out. Your affairs, the money." He laughed, but it was forced. "She came to me, buddy. Said you were boring." The words fueled the fire. I walked away, but not before slipping him a USB. Fake evidence of his crimes, planted to scare. Back home, Sarah waited, anxious. "Where were you?" "Walk," I said, kissing her. But doubt crept. Was this justice or madness? Suspense built as hints dropped. Friends whispered. Heard rumors about Sarah. She confronted me tearfully. Someone's spreading lies. I comforted her. Guilt warring with satisfaction. Climax neared. I arranged a reconciliation dinner at that Italian spot. The tablecloth crisp, candles mocking. Mark crashed. Invited anonymously by me. Tension thickened. They avoided eyes, but I toasted. To old friends. Under the table, my phone recorded. Secrets spilled in hushed tones when I went to the bathroom. Back I played innocent. That night, the video went viral. Anonymous post on socials tagged subtly. Her world shattered. Calls from family, friends unfollowing. She sobbed on the couch. Who did this? I held her, whispering. We'll find out. Inside, cold resolve triumphed. But the twist, as she broke, guilt overwhelmed. I confessed partly. It was me. You betrayed us. Her eyes widened, not in fury, but recognition. I deserved it, she whispered, revealing her own pain. Mark's blackmail from past debts. She'd protected me by silence. Heartbreak full circle. Revenge tasted bitter, poetic justice. But at what cost? We parted, shadows of ourselves. The inferno leaving ashes. In the empty apartment, I stared at the couch, wondering if vengeance healed or hollowed. The city lights blinked on, indifferent.